All right, here we go. I wanted to go back to Brittany Cooper's letter because remember earlier in the broadcast, I said I wanted to deal with this statement where she brought up the founding fathers, right? And let me see where she said that at.
I think that's in the beginning.
Yeah, right here. All right, I'm gonna highlight this. She said that they view it as progress as a necessary and long overdue disruption of the American founding fathers narrative. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because what a lot of us don't know as black people is that we are a part of the founding fathers. A lot of us don't know this, right? We don't know the history that we have in this country, meaning a lot of us are unaware of all of the accomplishments, right? All of the achievements, as well as sacrifices that we made to be in positions of leadership. So I actually wanted to show this clip. All right. And this is to prove my point. Let me see. All right. This is to prove my point right here. I want to show this clip. And this was a show that was done on Fox News, right? The same racist Fox News. Everybody likes to say Fox News is racist. They are racist. They support Donald Trump or President Trump. Well, the same Fox News had Glenn Beck on, right? And he did a whole series, right? Over 10 years ago. And it was called America's Black Founding Fathers. Take a look.
Hello, America, and welcome to another Founders Friday on the Glenn Beck program. Somebody asked me just before we went on the air how these shows are being rated, and I have to tell you, we didn't think anybody would watch. We thought, we'll give this a whirl, see if everybody wants to watch it.
Now I'm gonna stop right there, right? And I'm gonna go back a little bit. And I want people to look. I want all of our listeners to look at these faces. Look at these faces he's showing. It's only one black face up there that I'm sure most of you all can identify, and that would be Frederick Douglass. But you see, right next to Frederick Douglass, right? Follow my mouse. Right next to Frederick Douglass, there are two black men underneath him. Right underneath Glenn Beck, right here, it's a slew of black men in this portrait. It's a black man right there. My point is this. And at some point, I want us to cover this too, right now. Like I actually want us to go through these America Black Founding Father episodes that Glenn Beck did on Fox News. Reason being is because he actually exposed a lot of history that again, achievements and accomplishments that were made by black people, specifically black men during the time, that are unknown to most Americans today. And the only way we can bring the races of people together and bring us all together is for us to know the true history and foundation of America. So I think this is important, right? So
Yeah, I agree.
where I'm getting at is this. Now, I'm gonna show y'all something else. All right, what I wanted to show you all is this. And as you can see on your screen, right, we have the $20 bill that was proposed of Harriet Tubman that's to your far left, right at the top, right? And it's a nice looking bill. Don't get me wrong. It looks nice. I do like the way the bill looks. She looks nice, right? But as you can see, I have altered the bill to show 5 different black men that I feel could be awesome representatives, right, for us as a race of people on this $20 bill rather than Harriet Tubman. All right. This is what I think. All right. And let's discuss this. Now we're going to start, right? We're going to start with this gentleman to the right, at the top right. We're going to start with who this gentleman is. All right. All right, the first gentleman is Benjamin Banneker. That's his name, and he was a free black man. He was a surveyor, a landowner, a farmer. He had massive knowledge of mathematics, and he actually wrote his own almanac. So Benjamin Banneker, right, is the guy to your top right. All right, that's who Benjamin Banneker is. And Benjamin Banneker also finished he completed the layout of Washington, D.C. So he completed Washington, D.C. when LaFont quit the job of actually drafting D.C. It's a whole story about that. Matter of fact, maybe we should do that here at the Power of Offense when they just cover that, because I think that's a pretty high piece of history that
Yeah,
I think,
LaFont was a drunk, and they sent him back.
yeah.
And Benjamin Banneker, they have in it that he was mathematics and natural history, but what he really was an astronomer.
Yeah, he was an astronomer.
Yeah, he the one that mapped out the that 10-mile square.
Yep.
Of Washington, D.C. And he mapped it out according to the stars and how it laid out.
Yep.
You know, and but the Ellicott City.
Yes.
He was the architect. You know what I'm saying? Benjamin Banneker told him, and he wrote it down. So he was the one and they named the city after him, Ellicott City in Maryland.
I did not know that.
I forget his first name, but he was the actual like surveyor, the licensed surveyor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he went and surveyed the 10 square miles, and he used Benjamin Banneker, who understood how actually Benjamin Banneker that's why he was free. You know, so he's the descendant. His grandfather or father or one of them was a descendant of the of Mali.
I got you.
So you know, if you know any history about Mali, we're not going into all that. I'm not a historian, but Mali dealt with the universe and the stars and things like that, and he was a descendant of that, so he understood that principle of nature.
Right.
That's why they say in the book they didn't really go into. They call him a natural. What did it say? Natural what? Natural history. Yeah. What is natural history? You know, if it's not the stars. You know
right. I agree.
That's the only thing that's natural that would have history.
Yeah.
Benjamin Banneker was a bad boy, and they don't really give him. You have to really go into Black history to really get a lot of info. But he should be on all the money, because the money wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
If I think knowledge and understanding.
I think he would be an awesome person to put on it. All right, we have somebody else. Now, let me go back to the currency so everyone can see his photo.
And I get my almanac every year, so you definitely need to get your almanac so you understand other things that this brother brought forth. I
agree. Now, this gentleman right here below Harriet Tubman, I'm circling his image. This gentleman right here, his name is Bass Reeves, for those who do not know. Bass Reeves. Take a good look at him. You know? Now, Bass Reeves, right? Bass Reeves. He was an American law enforcement officer. He was the first Black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. He worked mostly in Arkansas and the Oklahoma Territory. And for all of my old school people that are familiar with the show, The Lone Ranger. Now, I'm sure you remember that, Rodney. You probably was a child when it came out.
That's what it was based off of.
It was based on Bass Reeves, man.
Yeah, based off of him, yeah.
Yep. The man was brilliant. And he was an ex-slave. And he pulled himself up from the bootstraps and became a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah.
Now, his story, I love his story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he looked really nice on that bill, too.
That's right. He used to smash them white folks by. So
he did.
Man. Yeah.
Talk about masculinity, huh? Now, the next gentleman right here, right? This gentleman right here, I'm gonna pull up his and this is the gentleman right below Benjamin Banneker. Let me pull up his bio.
He was one of the capital men.
You know it. You know it. His name. Oh man. This gentleman's name is Joseph Hayne Rainey. Joseph Hayne Rainey was born in 1832 in Georgetown, South Carolina. And then it says at a seaside town surrounded by low country rice plantations. Now, let me go further down. He was a part of the Republican Party. And he was the first, let me highlight this. He was the first black person, or shall I say black man, to serve in the United States House of Representatives, and the second black man after Hiram Revels to serve in the United States Congress. Again, I think that is awesome.
He's right here in this book as well.
Yep.
And actually, this photograph right here, it was that backdrop of that first Glenn Beck joint. It's the one that's right in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
This photo, if you take the words off.
Yep.
That photograph.
That photograph. Yep.
All those guys.
That's that gentleman right there in the portrait. He also would look great going on that $20 bill. And then right here we have Thurgood Marshall. I don't think I need to cover him much because most of us know who he is. He was the first black appointed Supreme Court justice. He was a brilliant man, and I think he looked just as good on that bill too. Now, the reason why I picked these men, I want to give my ultimate reason why I picked them, is because to me, sometimes I get tired of our entire existence in this country here in America always being predicated on slavery. It's always the conversation of slavery always have to come up whenever it concerns us. I'm like this. This is just how I feel. Why can't we have a black male, right? A black man that participated in some form of fashion in a official capacity for our government to represent us on the bill. All of these men that I picked represented us in an official capacity for the United States government in some form or fashion. Now, my point is, Harriet Tubman, not only is she a woman, but she basically was an abolitionist, which is awesome, just like Frederick Douglass was, right? Martin Luther King was a minister. He was a part of the civil rights era, right? I feel like, it's just me, this is my personal feelings about this. I feel like the best representation for the entire world to see black Americans, black people, for them to see us, the entire world. These $20 bills is going to be in places like Dubai, Japan. It's going to be everywhere, right? Everywhere that still accepts legal tender or paper currency will have these $20 bills. I think the best representation for us will be one of our men that served in an official capacity for the United States government, not as an abolitionist and not as a civil rights leader.
And none of them were slaves.
And none of them was, right, except for Bass Reeves. But come on, man, he was a U.S. Marshal, man. He did help set up a lot of the tactics they use, man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, Rodney? This is my argument concerning this. And these are people, and actually I want to tell the listeners, when you check out this video, please forward it to the United States Treasury. Forward it to them, right? So they can know how we feel. So they can know how the people feel, because remember, they're public servants. They work for us. So we have a duty to let them know how we feel about these things. And again, like we said earlier, Rodney, I think it would be awesome to have one of these men on the front and have Harriet Tubman on the back. It gets no better than that. Represents black people. And that's how it should be done. Yeah. Black people and the black community.
That's right. But first we have to get educated about who these people were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, yeah. Because it's
but once
crazy.
People see it, or once they introduce it, they're going to look it up anyways. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And let me show you this too, right? I think it looks kind of cool in grayscale too. I actually did it in grayscale too. I want to know what you think about this. Grayscale. I actually think it kind of look better in grayscale, only because the
black and white images.
Yeah, because it kind of merged better. But
yeah, that's on tight right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's on tight right there.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm ready to wrap this up, man. I think this was another awesome broadcast here. The Power of Offense.
I totally agree.
Everybody with legal commentary from a layman's point of view.
Absolutely. That's rooted in faith. That's rooted in facts.
Exactly.
Facts, provable fact. Anything can be proven, must be proven.
Yes, indeed.
That's why we sit here and hold all our books and everything that we go through them. We don't just have them sitting around. So
exactly.
That's what, unfortunately, that's what we have to do because our system failed us in education. So we have to self-educate. So we need a Congress to be put in place to pass laws for schools that can help educate folks properly, not a narrative to have them dumbed down in a fashion where they pretty much working for free.
I agree.